This is Travis Lee Bailey. I'm standing in front of the American Embassy in Moscow, Russia. It's late March 2023. I just wanted to talk a little bit about bullying. I wanted to talk a little bit about what's happening here internationally and about the United States and the future of international relations. I grew up in rural Idaho, and I grew up very poor. I grew up, even though my parents were both Democrats, I grew up in a very traditional home. And I was a member of the Mormon cult. I'm no longer Mormon. But I was taught that you should love your neighbor and that you shouldn't, thou shalt not kill, which is a commandment in the Bible. And in 1993 to 1995, I went on a mission and I taught people that, and I converted a lot of people. And that became in my heart, that became my fundamental beliefs. The importance of not bullying people, and the most important commandment, I believe, thou shalt not kill. The history of the United States and the history of America is that of colonialism. And I find it extremely incredible, and it's karma, and it's almost a gift from God that a group of white people that have been bullied for their entire existence by the United States and by Europe is now standing up to America. You, in America, fellow Americans, you don't understand what's been going on in Russia and some of the incredible things that President Putin is saying at the beginning of Cold War II and this multipolar world. Russia is giving former colonies of Europe who killed millions and millions of people and put hundreds of millions of people in slavery. And also America, Russia is giving them an alternative, an incredible alternative. And they're saying to the world that you don't have to be bullied by the United States anymore. And I grew up poor, as I said. I have 4 diplomas. Intelligence is malleable, which basically means that intelligence is something that anybody within some genetic limits can learn to be smarter. And what I realized is that the reason why I wasn't successful, and I learned this in my sociology degree, is because I didn't grow up rich. And that, combined with my beliefs, my religious beliefs, led me to Russia. And I just want to offer to all of my American friends and all my European friends an opportunity to start again in the frontier, what some people call the Wild East with cell phones. Life here in Russia is not easy. I have the literal scars to prove it. Pioneers like me and other Americans and Europeans are staying here, are staying fast. We won't listen to the propaganda. We are here to make a stand and to say that we love traditional values, we love traditional family values, we love traditional Christian values, and that we also cannot accept the United States and Europe killing millions of people and putting tens of millions and hundreds of millions of people in economic poverty. If you feel like you are not valued enough and that you feel like you can really make it on a frontier, I invite all of you Americans to come. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some links. I'm going to start advertising some groups. There is one person who is currently working. There's several Americans actually that are currently working to get Americans to come here to purchase land and to basically become farmers. outside of Moscow. And there are so many organizations that are just tired of the extreme views of the United States, how the United States uses all of these issues like gay rights and all these issues like race and such, not only internally but externally, to overthrow countries. And I love it here. I absolutely love it here. It's the toughest thing I've ever done. I used to be a Peace Corps volunteer, and they say Peace Corps is the toughest job you'll ever love. And Russia is difficult. Russia is very hard. But there's so many things that growing up in a traditional family, even though I grew up democratic and I have a lot of socialist views, there's a lot of traditional values that have been lost in the United States, that have completely been lost. The traditional family values of a woman and a man. And, for example, homosexuality. My best friends growing up were homosexual. I had so many incredible friends that were homosexual. I support a person's choice to do what they want sexually. But the thing is if you ask yourself, any straight man, the act of homosexuality is disgusting. It's just absolutely abhorrent. And the way that these groups are pushing this agenda is just, they're pushing their values on to other people, just like religious people used to push their own values. And the whole pronoun argument and how people could lose their jobs, like there was a principal who lost their job because of not using a pronoun for a boy. 20% of all millennials now believe that they have fluid sexuality. 20% of all millennials right now have fluid sexuality. I always joke that dating a woman in America is like dating a man because of extreme feminism. And it's like 1984. It's like 1984, and it's like Brave New World, and it's like all of these different things of thought control in the United States that don't exist here. The freedom to speak the freedom of speech here in this democracy is so much stronger than in the United States, in so many different levels. I feel so much freer to do so many things here in Russia. Here in Russia, feminism to a lot of women, especially outside of Moscow, is considered a negative thing, and it's more about being feminist. And the idea is that the man is the head, but the woman is the neck. And Russian women are so strong; they're stronger than any American woman I've ever met in my life. But there's an opportunity here to be something different, to do something different, to have cherished values that have been lost because of extreme people in the United States. Nothing in life is easy. Kennan, who was considered the father of the containment policy, he was a diplomat here. In his last book, and in the book WhyDon'tRussiansSmile.com, I quote him, and he says that Americans will never have the humility to understand Russians, and it's true. And every single day I struggle to understand the Russians, because even though these people look like us, they are definitely aliens. But there's such a beauty in every day of learning more about yourself and becoming a stronger person and questioning not only their values but your own every single day. It's difficult here, but pioneers are welcome, and we're looking for pioneers, and Russia's looking for pioneers. And if you are willing to work hard, the opportunities here are endless. It's the Wild West. It's like gold mining and California in the 1800s in the United States. And there's so many opportunities here. Here you're unique. No matter who you are, just because you're an American makes you special. And the people here, I have been harassed here. I was pushed on the bus for listening to a podcast in English, but the vast majority of people are so supportive, especially outside of Moscow, and they are a little bit scared, but they just love Americans. It's a dichotomy, like so many things in America and so many things here. I just want to say that Moscow beckons and Russia beckons, and you have so many opportunities here. And I was asked by one of my dearest students if I could do it all over again, would I not come back? And the answer is no. I'm so glad to be here, and I'm so glad to be a part of this beautiful country. And I am here to stand up to the bullies. And all of these groups in America, they talk about racism, and America is just so obsessed with race. I'm so tired of listening to NPR because that's all they talk about is race, National Public Radio. But the thing is that these supposed liberals that care so much about human rights, well, they're protecting and they have their token black friend, and while they're protecting these supposed so-called homosexual and LGBT and gay and values and these racist and saying that they're not racist and they have their token black friend, they're killing millions of people, and they're putting hundreds of millions of people in slavery, in wage slavery. And I came here because my entire life I was bullied. I was poor. I felt like I wasn't appreciated for who I am, and I'm appreciated for who I am here. And there are so many opportunities, and it's so exciting to be here. I knew this would happen. I knew Cold War II would happen. I've been predicting it for 20 years, and I knew that the unipolar world of the United States could not sustain itself. I've known that for at least 15 to 20 years, since at least 2004, between 2004 and 2007. And so to be here in the country that is standing up, the white people that are standing up to European colonialism and to the United States, which internationally is the most violent country in the world, and for me to be a part of that, for me to be a beautiful part of making a difference. Pioneers are wanted. Pioneers are needed. Don't believe the propaganda. It is so safe here. It is so incredibly safe here. You have no idea. Every couple of months, it's a joke. This embassy of lies, this den of spies, as they were called in Iran, this den of spies, the embassy in Iran, this den of spies, this den of lies, every couple of months says how, it's so dangerous here and all Americans should leave. No, it's a wonderful country and pioneers are needed. Travis Lee Bailey, MoscowAmerican.com. Like and subscribe. Thank you.